set, go.
Four more. I'm gonna get my own football.
Choosing a ball to warm up with is an easy decision for Bubba Starling to make. But he's used to making decisions. As one of the top-ranked high school quarterbacks in the country, Bubba had to choose between 10 different full-ride scholarship offers from some of the nation's top programs.
KU, K-State offered me, Nebraska, of course, where I'm committed, Louisville, Notre Dame, Alabama.
You got a good ball?
Miami, Arizona, there's a few more. Texas Tech, one other place, I don't know.
Set, go.
Every day coming home, after practices and seeing, all these Division I colleges, sending me letters, it's like, wow, never thought this was gonna happen.
Down. Set, go.
Seeing them on TV, and they're sending me stuff, yellow and wanting to talk to me now. Nick Saban talking to him on the phone or doing the Skype deal just right there.
One decision down, another to go. In a few months, Bubba is expected to be taken high in the Major League Baseball amateur draft.
A lot of people after the games will come up and, ask me football stuff, then they'll want to change the subject to baseball, and I'm just like, this is a football season, let's worry about football now. You can ask me football stuff, how that's going, this and that, but we'll worry about the draft when it comes time.
A hard decision to make for anyone. Get a college education paid for while playing quarterback for a premier program, or make millions playing professional baseball.
Thank God for my athletic ability and the stuff he gave me. But some of them other kids around the schools, they have to go out and do community service. They have to do all kinds of stuff, to get scholarship money, all kinds of stuff. And I'm just, luckily enough, to, get offered, a full scholarship for football and, not have to pay anything. So it's pretty special.
Not everyone has the kind of choices to make like Bubba Starling. Many student athletes don't even have one choice to make. The majority of student athletes are more like Nayla Lawrence, just hoping for a chance at a choice.
I hope to get a volleyball scholarship to a college that offers architecture. So far I've got offers from colleges that don't have it, which is unfortunate, but I'm still looking and still keeping my hopes high. Right now, I only have like $1,000 in scholarships, so I'm quite a ways away. But I'm still applying, and hopefully I get some more. $1,000 would probably cover my books and supplies. So I need about a few more thousands before I'm able to be secure. If somebody was helping me pay for college, that would help a lot, like so much. It would relieve a lot of stress for me and my mother.
Despite being undersized for a college volleyball player, Nayla hasn't let go of her dream. Neither has her mother.
Volleyball's great, but volleyball's a sport. So she's driven to do other things in life, but volleyball is a means to her doing those things because, architecture is a pretty expensive field. I'm like, oh, what else do I need to do? What do I need to do to make this happen for her? I don't want to disappoint her. You know what I mean? As a parent, I want to do everything that I can do to make this happen for her because I know this is what she really wants to do. So it's depressing sometimes. In reality, if she doesn't get a scholarship, she can't go. I mean, we just can't afford it. I mean, that is the honest God truth.
Do it again!
Many student athletes who have visions of an athletic scholarship tend to lean too heavily on their high school coach when it comes to recruiting.
I really am convinced that if a young man has some talent,
keep it moving,
and he wants to play college football, there's a place for him somewhere. I get, Coach, I'd like to play college football. Well, where would you like to play? I'd like to play at Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, Nebraska. And then you look at them and you go, okay, now, number one, they're not going to recruit you. So you try to be realistic with them.
Tony Severino is one of the nation's top high school football coaches. He's helped numerous players get athletic scholarships throughout his 3 decades of coaching.
Or I get this, Coach, I will go play anywhere.
That a boy, Scott?
All right, then I will throw out the name of an obscure college that they have never heard of. And they'll look at me and they'll give me this blank look. I go, would you go there to play? And they'll go, no. Back where I came from, and my dad worked in a steel mill, and my only way to college was on a scholarship. And You know, to be honest with you, it didn't matter where.
But as a high school coach, he makes a living by building a program and winning football games. When he's not coaching X's and O's, he finds time to help his athletes with the recruiting process by being honest and realistic.
You've got to pass the eyeball test. Number one thing. College coaches will stand out here with me after school, starting in April, and all they want to do is eyeball them. They'll walk in the weight room and just stand there and watch the kids work. Number one, they'll look at their work ethic. Number two, they'll look at what they're working with. And these are all the things you sit down and you tell a young man, look, when these college coaches come walking in here and you walk by them, don't be slumping your shoulders.
With so many athletes across the nation and coaches with an eye on a state championship, Coach Severino, like most of his colleagues, do what they can for their athletes when approached about playing at the next level.
Well, you know, when the season ends, they go, oh, you know, now that the season's over, what are you going to do? I said, now it becomes harder. It was getting to the point when each young man would come in and say, Coach, I need to send this tape to this college or this tape to that college. And you would spend literally hours a day copying tapes and putting them in envelopes. So this, okay, now which games did you play well in? And then you try to get their best games. College coaches will tell you, they will get hundreds of DVDs from parents, from grandparents, from people, you know, say, hey, watch my son. And what they usually tell me is they just usually take those and throw those away.
With not enough time in the day, coaches tend to point their athletes in the direction of online recruiting services to assist the student athlete get a scholarship. College Coaches Network, based in Kansas City, is one of several national recruiting services. They help play the role of matchmaker when it comes to connecting college coaches and high school students seeking athletic scholarship assistance.
Think about the delivery method of the information. The traditional delivery method of information, the high school coach would send material out, college coaches would call coach, hey, send me your film and your prospect report. They would sift through that information. What a load. Now recruiting is very national, and a lot of that's attributed to this. A college coach can see an email from a recruiting service or a scout or a player. The email comes, oh, this is John Jones. Boom, oh, here's his game film. I can click right into that. Oh yeah, I like him. I can respond directly to him in this email and let him know, hey, we like you, or, you know, John, you don't have the skill set to play at this level. That's just speed of information.
Matt Brandmeier of College Coaches Network helped build a team filled with former players and coaches. Their mission? To educate the athletes and their parents on the recruiting process.
Not only do you have online tools, you have coaching throughout the process. You know, coaching is important because you've got an expert that's all they do is sit there and review what is sent to college coaches. They build relationships with college coaches and they have credibility at that level.
A lot of times parents want that process to go from A to Z in one phone conversation or in one email, and just the way that recruiting works, that's not really, it's not realistic.
But the ultimate goal is not just a scholarship, but an invitation to a school that fits the student athlete the best, the right scholarship.
I think ours is a little bit more unique because it's specialized and there's people connected to the technology. It's not just spewing out, you know, algorithms of player criteria that matches the school. It's got a human touch to it, which I think is important.
It's one of those things, having been on the other side and sat at the coach's desk and, you know, going through 25 or 50 emails a day or a weekend, you have to have some sort of filter. So there's certain tags, almost like a resume, that you're looking for, and if you don't have that criteria, then it's just a delete.
What we're talking about is not only offers, because so many kids get 1 to 2 offers coming out of high school, and that's just not enough. It's just not enough offers for a kid to make a really good, educated decision. And they're waiting for that offer. So many sit there and they're just, I'm waiting for this offer to come. Well, what if it doesn't come? What if it's the one offer you think you're going to get, but it's not the school that's the best fit for you. That's why planning is just critical, and that's where we like to start the process and help people get a broad education on what this is, You can use us, or you can do it yourself. Great, but have better outcomes in the end is the ultimate goal.
However, it's easier said than done. Just like recruiting, there are many levels of college sports.
Good communication.
Larry Wilcox is one of college football's most celebrated coaches. He's the all-time winningest coach in Kansas history at any collegiate level. Yet he's not a household name. Neither is his school, Benedictine College, which consistently ranks among the best in the nation. So each year, hundreds of high school seniors want to come play football for Coach Wilcox.
Much better, much better.
And since the fall of 1979, he's been through it all when it comes to recruiting.
Well, probably what's changed the most in college athletics has been the recruiting facet of my work and the work of our staff here. I think as a college coaches, we're inundated with materials. I receive, on average, over 100 recruiting emails per day, as well as hard copy information in the mail, texts, video online. We might receive 25 videos online per day. As a comparison, we have the Kansas City Chiefs close to us here, and they have a full staff that are involved in assessing talent, and they have planes. They can just get on it and go look at somebody, come home and look at a lot of good film and make an assessment, and then 4 weeks into training camp they cut them. I get 12 clips of highlight film on a young man, and then I have to make an assessment. I'm not going to be right all the time.
While technology has made the Ravens a more national program, like many other coaches, Coach Wilcox feels he has no choice but to utilize online recruiting services.
You have to do it in order to survive. It's sort of keep up with the Joneses kind of thing. If you don't know about players A, B, and C, and everybody else in your league is pursuing players A, B, and C, you're probably going to be at a disadvantage come Saturday afternoon when the ball game starts. I'm not going to bring a 160-pound kid in from Nova Scotia, okay? If I want a 160-pound kid, I'll go to Kansas City, delete.
Whether it's a blue chip recruit or one looking for the right fit, a high school coach or a college coach, the goal is always the same: a free education.
You try to tell them, after your first job, nobody asks you where you went to college. Nobody asks you what your GPA was. Now, it may help you get a job to start with, but eventually you have to perform no matter what school you went to. But it's so hard for kids to look that far down the road.
One of the difficulties in the recruiting process is how realistic is the person that you're talking to, about what their skill level is, about what their potential might be. Everyone like to dream about being drafted into the NFL, but that better not be your only career option.
An athlete coming out of college has a really good opportunity of getting a job, and a good job, pretty quick. They're in demand. In this day and age, it's a competitive job market, and you can't survive without a college degree.
In the end, when it's all said and done, once you get that degree, you get that first job. Now it doesn't matter whether you're a football player, a 36 ACT, you still have to perform. And there are a lot of people running a lot of organizations in this country that didn't go to the Division I schools and didn't go to Harvard and didn't go to Yale. It's more about the person a lot of times than it is about the university.
As we emphasize to any young man that we talk to up front, and almost in our first conversation, is that someday they're going to have to go to work for a living. And it's probably not going to be in football. And at that point in time, they're not going to be guards and tackles and running backs. They're going to be doctors and lawyers and teachers and businessmen. And that's what's most important to us, because we want to be able to look them in the eye 10 years from now and know that their time here helped to position them to be a professional in something other than perhaps as an athlete.
Wow, it would take a big burden off my shoulders if we got a scholarship, but we're doing what we can.